Hello all, myself Shalini from PG and Research Department of Commerce General. The subject which I'm going to deal with is Principles of Management. In the Principles of Management, I'm going to talk about the topic of Introduction to Management. Under the Introduction of Management, here I have going to deal with these four headings, that is the meaning, levels, functions and the basic principles of management. Yes, the first one is meaning of management. Management is the art of getting things done through others. It is concerned with the performance of planning, organizing, directing, coordinating, and controlling. Yes, management is very basic and very most important functions in each and every business firms. Yes, so management is nothing but it is getting the things done through others. For that, they should possess some qualities. Yes, so the who will be handling all these things will be a manager or the well expertised person who can handle all the things. And very important thing is it is concerned with the performance of planning, organizing, directing, coordinating, and controlling. Planning is the basic thing which determines, that is predetermined goal of action. Then organizing is nothing but dividing them into group who has to be done what. It is aggregating the work, it is dividing the group in the form of departments. Then just like that we can't do, right? We should instruct them how to do that, how to do this. So that is what directing. And coordinating is nothing but two or more departments is mutually coordinate with each other. That is what very important quality. And last one is controlling. Controlling is like looking back. It is very important functions all together, all the five things together put, that is put together. That is what the actual meaning of management. Yes, so the next one is levels of management. Yes, here we have three levels of management. The first one is top management, second one is middle management, and the last one is lower management. So top level management is nothing but in the picture itself you can clearly able to understand it deals with the long term goals, long term products, materials, markets, all these things. When you come to a middle level management, it is like a regional or the plant managers. And the last one is lower level management. It involves with the implementing of plans with the TL assistant, that is manager, assistant, foreman. Foreman is nothing but the supervisors. Yes. Here with this diagram, it is clearly explained, that is top level, middle level and lower level. The first one is top level. Who will be involved in the top level management? The board of directors, chairmen, managing directors and so on. When you come to a middle level management, it involves the head of the department like production, finance, marketing, etc. When you come to a lower level management, individual like office manager, supervisor, supervisors is also known as foreman and so on. So head of the department is nothing but the TL. Yes, TL or the managers. Then the second one is formation of basic objectives. Without objectives, the business cannot run. They should have objectives. They should have objectives. With that, they can plan the policies. With that, they can plan to attain to achieve the objectives. They should have proper or the basic objectives. Without objectives, it is not at all possible for each and every firm to run. So they should have a basic objectives. Who will be forming the objectives? The top level management will be planning the objectives. And the second one is formulation of suitable policies at department level. Even though they are planning a basic objectives, the middle level management will plan some suitable policies according to their department to achieve the basic objectives. To achieve the basic objectives, they do have some plans or policies to attain the basic objectives. And the lower level management is nothing but they will plan accordingly to achieve the department level to correlate the basic objectives. Then third one is framing the major policies. Who will be for framing the policies. Each and every business firm will have a mission as well as the vision. So who will be forming? Obviously, the top level management will be framing. Then who will be controlling the departments? The middle level management will control the departments according to the policies. And lower level management, they are assigning the work to the employees. These are the basic actions which are done by the top level, middle level, and the lower level. And next one is organize the departments for efficiency and to attain goals. Just like that, the company is created. Okay, I have created, I have planned. It is not like that. They should organize the department in such a way that he will be suitable for this. He will be suitable for that to achieve the goal. Whatever goal they have determined to achieve that, for that purpose only they are running, right? So that is what the organizing the departments for to attain the goals. Then here the periodical review of performance. Middle level management duties, ultimate duty is to review the performance. And when you come to a lower level management, they are monitoring the employees' performance. Who will be monitoring? The managers and the supervisors will be monitoring the employees' performance. Then whom they will be representing or reporting. The top level management will representing the business outside, that is to the government. So when I'm running a business, I'll be responsible. I'll be representing my business or my company, that is to the government or to the trade association and so on. When you come to the middle level management, they will be interacting with subordinate staff. Obviously, they will be giving the instructions to the lower level management. For sure, it will take place. That is what their main role. Then when you come to a lower level management, they'll be reporting all the things to middle level managers. Here, the middle level manager plays a very major role. He or she plays the intermediate role between the top level management and the lower level management. So these are the things which is involved in the top, middle, and lower level management. The next topic is functions of management. The first one is planning, organizing, then staffing, directing, then coordinating, and controlling. So these are the fundamental functions of management. Without this, nothing cannot be performed. It is the very important aspects in each and every business firms and in the management. The first one is planning. As we all know, planning is nothing but it is a predetermined course of action. Whatever we do, take for example for going out with our friends, we should plan when we are going, where we are going, what dress to be wear, how much the budget it would be, which place we have decided, in which transportation medium we will be going. All the factors we used to plan. Yes, just for going out with the friends, we are planning so much. Then please think in the way of I'm running a very big management. I should have a proper plan. Without plan, nothing can be performed. So planning is the foundation for everything. Planning is very important aspect in the functions of management. Second one is organizing. Okay, I have planned. So just like that I can do. Organizing is nothing but I should have a right person for the right job in the means of a right department. I should organize a department. I should segregate. I should divide them. I should have a proper organized group. For example, production department, management department, finance department. I should have so and so departments. I should organize them. I should allot them. I should segregate them. That is what I should organize in a proper way. Then, third one is staffing. Staffing is nothing but it involves the activities of recruiting them, giving them training, making them to work, and also giving the performance appraisal. It involves a very such a lengthy process, but on a whole, it is nothing but they are recruiting, they are doing all the activities related to the human manpower. Yes, human manpower is very important for the management, right? So that is what the staffing. Next one is directing. Okay, I have planned, I have organized the department, I had enough of stuff, The next one is directing. All these things are available, but those people have to know what they have to do. அவங்களுக்கு என்ன they have to get to know what they have to be done. Without that, nothing can be performed. So directing is nothing but instructing, giving them the instructions how to do, in what way they have to follow, in what all procedures they have to be follow. All these things put together is what directing. And the next one is coordinating. Coordinating is nothing but two or more departments mutually coordinate with each other to achieve the organizational goals. That is, for example, sales department has to report it to the production department that this much of sales has been taken place. So this for product A, this much of demand in the product you should produce in such a way. It should give the data so that the production department will give the instructions to the purchasing department. So and so raw materials I will need of. It's because of demand is there, so that I can proceed with the production. So they'll be instructing the purchase department. Here the purchase, production and the sales departments are mutually coordinate with each other to achieve the demand, so or to achieve the goal. Yes, so all the three departments has to coordinate with each other. That is what coordinating. And the last one is controlling. I planned, I organized, all the staffs are there, I'm directing, coordinating. Is it enough? There should be a proper control. If planning is looking forward, controlling is looking backward. If I have done anything wrong, anything has gone, I should make any changes. Is it okay to run the business? For each and every business, controlling is very important. That is, looking back is very important. With all these functions, the management can run in a smooth and efficient way. Then, the last topic which I'm going to deal is basic principles of management. It was proposed by the Henry Fayol. Here we have 14 principles of management. The first one is division of work. Division of work is nothing but dividing of work. Total work to be done is divided into small parts. That is, take for example making a shirt. For making a shirt, one will be doing the cutting of cloth, one will be doing the stitching of collar, one will be stitching the button, another one will be ironing. So, to making a one fruitful object, that is a shirt, where like a departments will be there. They'll be doing all the works in a small parts. That is, they are be segregating the groups. Each groups will perform their own work. Okay, the final output is what we are getting as a shirt. So it is nothing but dividing the work. When we are dividing the work can be done in a smooth and efficient way and in a proper way. And the second one is authority and responsibility. Authority and responsibility are different. Authority is the official right of the manager. They possess the right. They are having the legal authority. When you come to a responsibility, it lies in the manager. Authority lies with the manager. When you come to a responsibility lies in the subordinate. Subordinate has to be responsible for their own work, for their own superior. They has to be responsible. Then the next one is discipline. Discipline is nothing but it is very important aspects, that is it is being obedient. When you are assigned any work to somebody else, they will be responsible. They should be disciplined enough. They should be take the task assigned for them. They should be completed it on a time. So when a task is assigned to me, I should take the responsibility. So that is what the discipline. And when you come to a unity of command is nothing but one superior is accountable to the only one head. That is one superior. One subordinate is accountable to the one superior. That is, an employee should receive order from only one superior. If I get order from 2 to 3 heads, to whom I will be accountable? Whose work I will be completing the first? It ultimately leads to conflicts. So, getting a information from the only one superior and doing the work is the best thing that has to be done. Then, unity of direction. Unity of command is different from the unity of direction. So, unity of direction is nothing but it is a group of activities having the same objectives should have one and one plan. Our department should have a plan to be done. For this, everything should run in a proper way. Everyone should run in a same line. No one should go from this way or that way. They should plan it in such a way to achieve the goal. They should have only one plan, not more than one or two plan, not more than one plan. Then the next one is individual interest to the common interest. Individual interest involves the selfishness, egos. I should convert all these things to a common interest, that is a common output. When I'm running a management, is it is all together, everyone together, right? So when it comes to a management, it can be overcome by the constant supervision, fair agreement, and so on. If I have a constant supervision, I can avoid the individual interest of selfishness, egos, all these things, and I can make my management in a better way. The next one is remuneration. Each and every employee is daily running their life just because to earn the salaries. Yes, so how the salaries, that is the remuneration. The remuneration to the employees should be fair and should be maximum satisfaction to both the employer and the employee. It has to be satisfied. If not, it ultimately leads to discontinue of the work. All these things will happen if the employee is not satisfied. It literally affects the work. So for that purpose, the employee should be satisfied with the remuneration and they should not be any biased. Next one is centralization. Centralization is suitable only for the small firms. That is, the information will pass on directly from the superior to the subordinate, so that any information will not be missed out. Then next one is scalar chain. Scalar chain is nothing but it is ranking from the higher authority to the lower level. That is, from the top level management, they will be getting the informations. The middle level management will be getting the information from the top level, and management will get the information from the middle level, and the employees will get the information from the lower level. Yes, when any information is passed on, it is from the top level management to the lower level management, that is, it flows downwards. When any information has to be conveyed to the top level management, the employee should go to the lower level management, the lower level management has to take it to the middle level management, and the middle level management has to take it to the top level management. This is what the flow of chart. Generally, the scalar chain will follow the from ranking from the highest level to the lowest level. Then next one is order. Here Fayol considers the order into two, that is material order and the social order. Material order is a place for everything and everything in its place. It is nothing but whatever things I'm using it as a raw materials, that should be placed in a proper way, in a hygienic way, in a proper place which is allotted. When you come to a social order, a place for everyone and everyone in his place, that is a right job for the right man. He has been put in a right position, he has been given the right authority. For example, a person is very well versed in sales, he has to be put in sales department, not in the IT department. It's just because IT department have vacancy, there is no use, there is no productivity. If why? Because he is very well versed in sales. If I put those people in sales department, it ultimately grows my company. So that is what the social order, a place for everyone and everyone in his place. That next one is equity. Equity is nothing but it ensures the fairness, kindness, and justice. That is, everyone should be treated equally without any bias or impartiality in the management. Then next one is stability. Stability is nothing but it is important for the employees to get to learn to the things. When they are completely new to the profession, when they are completely new to the work, it takes time for them to learn and to become expert. Yes, so it takes time. When they have learned the work, they'll be stable. They'll be giving the work, they'll be giving the output in such a way that we can't expect that much of output, that much of outcome we can get it from them when they are expert in that. Then, initiative. Initiative is nothing but they have the freedom to think, act, that will ultimately produce the interest. They will be showing the interest towards his work that ultimately leads to the high level of satisfaction for them, which ultimately leads to the growth of the company. When I was so innovative, I want to take some step. I should given a space to give all those things. If I have given a space, then it is like a freedom to think, freedom to act, which ultimately leads to achieve the organizational goal. Then, last but not the least, esprit de corps. It is nothing but the soul of the body. It is a French term which means soul of the body. It is nothing but the teamwork. See how they are comparing when what weight they are using for the teamwork. Teamwork is very, very, very important. It is mandatory. Teamwork and coordination among the members of the organization leads to success. We all will be agree. Unity, teamwork, coordination. If I put all these together, I'll be achieving what I'll be get what I have planned or what I have desired. I can if I have a proper team and have a proper planning with the proper team. Team spirit should be there. It should be encourageable. Yes. So these are the 14 basic principles of the management which was proposed by the Henry Fayol. Thank you.